It looks like just moments after that pretty sick Xbox developer direct, Phil Spencer has Xbox back in the headlines. And depending on who you ask, it may be for all the wrong reasons. But let's break that all down, up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. Alright, so it looks like we are diving back into the well of Xbox news because, let's just face it, we got a whole lot of material to cover. Over the past few years, the discourse around them staying within the console business has only really increased. And this is all in part to their new business strategies moving forward. More recently, the whole "this is an Xbox" campaign struck a chord with a lot of hardcore fans, and this is what really tipped the scales for some people. I, for one, really don't think this is any new information we're getting, especially compared to what they've been saying over recent years. So, I guess, don't shoot the messenger, I think people are overreacting. Now to that, I refer to Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, where he said at one point in time Xbox is trying to redefine what it means to be an Xbox fan, and it's all about enjoying your Xbox games on all your devices. Now, of course, I'm just paraphrasing, but you get the point. They've been doing this for years now. But that central meaning, I do think, has taken a new form over recent years, and this is all in part to that multi-platform strategy that we've been talking about practically every single week. The trickle down from the ABK merger seen some Xbox-owned IPs go over to rival consoles, and that I feel is where the unrest started. But I feel this strategy has been a success for them this far, with games like Sea of Thieves, Fallout 76, and plenty more finding new life on other platforms. Microsoft does in fact see that, and that's why we're getting titles like Indiana Jones and Doom the Dark Ages on the PS5, along with The Outer Worlds 2. Now, their exclusive strategy, especially when compared to Nintendo and PlayStation, is very, very fluid. And insiders like Jez Corden have gone on record basically saying Xbox games will be timed exclusives moving forward more often than not. Now, this all depends on the numbers game, like engagement and how many people buy the actual games. But what about the hardware? Everyone's up in arms about the hardware, and Xbox went as far to confirm their next big console, along with that Xbox handheld that we definitely talked about multiple times. And call me crazy, that right there is where I think things get interesting for Xbox moving forward. I've seen countless comments and posts around this idea of, how can Xbox sell consoles with timed exclusives? To that, I look to their next big console and the thing I've been saying right along. Their next new console will be something we haven't seen before, and I'm talking more in a traditional home console sense. And this is where I think the idea of Xbox OS is very real. And Microsoft is looking to combine the Xbox and Microsoft, aka PC platforms, in an all-in-one bundle. This would give Xbox a unique console, along with that handheld device that is far more capable in theory and can boot up PC storefronts like the Epic Game Store, and let's not forget Steam. Do I stoke the fires here and say you can play a PS5 game on an Xbox console? Technically, yeah, I'm gonna say it. While they don't make money off Steam games, that is a huge selling point for consoles. They can also license out that Xbox OS to third parties, where we can most likely expect third-party Xbox consoles, which at the end of the day adds more options to the consumer. I mean, when you really think about it, ROG can make a brand new console that's pretty over the top as far as internal goes, and Lenovo can do the same. Plus, historically, when looking back on prior numbers, console makers normally never make money off the consoles alone. They make money off the software, aka first-party games that are sold. So, Xbox can't leave the console market because they'd lose a big chunk of their Game Pass subscribers. More specifically, console Game Pass subscribers. Plus, it's no secret PC gaming is growing, but there are people who just prefer the simplicity of plugging in your home console and it just works. So, if you're sticking with me, combining PC gaming with the simplicity of console gaming, it's pretty enticing to the consumer base. Now, what about the future of Xbox? You know I'm going to get into this weekend's interviews with Phil Spencer, So let's dive into that. Now, this weekend, Phil Spencer had a round of interviews with various YouTube channels, and to that I looked to the amazing work done by Danny Pena and Paris Lilly, and that's over at Gamertag Radio. Quote, "This is a concern in the community, that if you're putting games on other platforms, why would I still want an Xbox, when I can get that experience on another platform?" And to that, Phil Spencer replied, quote, "I want people to pick hardware based on capabilities of that hardware, and how that fits into choices they want to make about where they want to play. We want our hardware to win based on hardware capabilities that we have." He continued, "I want to build a platform that services creators that are trying to meet people on every screen. On our hardware, I think it's fundamental to what Xbox is. It's not lost to me that box is in the name of our brand. I say from the position that I'm in, I look at hardware as a critical part of what we do, while not trying to gatekeep the games off other places." See, there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth, and quite honestly, I don't know how much more they have to elaborate on this vision, especially when it comes to the future. But now, because he brought that up, what about the games? The games that people are worried about. This is where we bring in another interview done by Dustin Legary, and here's what went down. Essentially, he asked, quote, "Can you solidify that Starfield is staying put for the time being?" To that, Phil Spencer replied, quote, "There's no specific game that I would. This goes back to that red line answer. There's no reason for me to put a ring fence around any game and say this game will not go to a place that will find players where we would have business success for us." He continued, "What we find is we're able to drive a better business that allows us to invest in great game lineups that you saw, and that's our strategy. Game Pass is an important component to playing games on our platform, but to keep our games off other platforms, that's not the path for us." Now, I made this video to highlight what I believe is the grand vision for Xbox, and to kind of just have it out there for reference. Plus, it goes to show you how fluid this business is, and if you read between the lines, the answer, more often than not, is right in front of us. Xbox plans to expand beyond the normal at-home console gaming business strategy, and that exclusive strategy as well, because their games are selling well on other platforms, and games aren't getting cheaper to make. Xbox sees this, and instead of sticking their nose up for the sake of just having console exclusives, they're willing to get their hands dirty, try out a new strategy, and see what's best for the longevity of Xbox. So, I guess in a roundabout way, no, I don't think Xbox is going anywhere. They're still gonna make hardware, and they're still gonna make games. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass it off to you guys. What do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments down below. But that about does it here. I've been KLO, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.